You can also use a URL filtering profile to prevent users from accessing inappropriate or risky websites. You build the profile under Objects, Security Profiles, URL Filtering. There is a default URL filtering profile that you can use, or you can create your own. This entry here for Corp URL Profile is a modified clone of the default one. A URL filtering profile contains all the predefined categories as well as any custom categories that you create. You can also incorporate external dynamic lists that contain URLs. For each category, you can set the site access to Alert, which allows access but creates an entry in the URL filtering log. You can set it to Allow, which allows access but does not create a log entry in the URL filtering log. Block denies access and creates an entry in the URL filtering table. This option also presents the user with a web page, which explains why access has been blocked and what category the website falls into. Continue presents the user with a warning window that tells them that they shouldn't visit this kind of site, but if they really want to, there's a button that they have to click to continue to the site. The user is allowed to go to the site, and the firewall writes an entry in the URL filtering log. The override option presents a warning window, just like Continue, but in order to click the Continue button, the user has to provide an override passphrase in the field on the page. Palo Alto Networks recommends blocking access to Command and Control, Dynamic DNS, Hacking, High Risk, Malware, Phishing, and Unknown. Your company may also want you to block access to adult, extremism, newly registered domains, and a number of other categories that are available. Now, once I've defined my URL filtering profile, I can attach it to a security policy rule which allows web browsing traffic. In this rule, employees in the user's net can access hosts on the internet using web browsing and secure web browsing. I'm not blocking access to any URLs based on category, but under the Actions tab, I am allowing web browsing traffic, but I've instructed the firewall to use the URL filtering profile. The firewall will allow access to web browsing, but if the user attempts to go to a site that falls into the blocked categories within the URL filtering profile, the firewall will block access, write an entry to the URL filtering log, and present a warning page to the user.